Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good start to their day. I know a lot of you folks are on the Pacific Coast. I'll get started in just a bit, probably maybe a minute or two. I just want to make sure that we get as many people in attendance as we can. Quite a number of you already signed up, so I'll just wait for those to join. If you have just joined, it may help throughout today's presentation if you do get signed in. While it is not mandatory for you to get signed in, it will help as it relates to following along to today's presentation, but you are under no requirement to go ahead and do so. This meeting will be recorded for any of you who may have a question on that. So yes, this meeting will be recorded. And I'll be able just, to walk you through the various features and services that you have access to through your partner, which in this case is Bender Insurance Solutions. So yeah, I'll get started in about a minute or so, and I will let you guys know as soon as we're ready to begin. All right, well, we're about 2 minutes past the start time, so I'll just go ahead and begin with today's presentation. For those folks who are joining this training for the first time, my name is Kyle. I'm a customer success manager here at Mineral or slash Mitratech, and I work closely with your partner in this case, the Bender Insurance Solutions Group, to make sure that you are informed about the different types of features and services that are available to you to use on the Mineral platform. For today's training, I'll be sure to go through, of course, keeping with the focus, which is helping you stay up to date with any sort of compliance changes that are coming due. And that will be done using some of the features and services that I'll be talking about in today's training. So without further ado, I think what is a good start to this training is at least just to introduce to you what the Mineral platform is and how it can accomplish what you are trying to do as it relates to HR and compliance and the various tasks that that takes up. So as it relates to Mineral, what we do is that we are an HR and compliance solution provider, and our main solution is going to be this Mineral platform. And with this platform, you're able to use information, find laws or policy changes that affect you as a company. So a lot of the results that we'll be looking at today will look different from client to client since it's mostly based on what you currently have in the system. So if you have, 15 employees in the state of California, you'll see laws and policies that are specific to that. In addition to keeping up to date with compliance changes, we also have featured offerings for you to use, such as an opportunity for you to reach out to an HR expert. So if you have questions on various topics, anything from hiring to termination, and all the policies and laws that that takes up, you can reach out to one of our HR experts who'd be more than happy to assist you with those questions. We also have a smart employee handbook builder and a learning management system that you can use to develop courses in the case of the LMS. And for the smart employee handbook, you can use this as a way to stay up to date with your employee handbooks that you will typically send out to your existing employees and of course new hires. So as we get started into the Mineral platform, what I want to show you initially is this dashboard page. The dashboard page is going to be the very first page that you see as soon as you get signed into the platform. And on the dashboard page, you'll find information relating to the featured content section. This has our featured article at the top, which does change from time to time. So it's always a great idea just to see which information in here is new that you can take action on immediately. Below our featured article, we'll have law alerts that will help keep you informed of any federal or state laws that are being changed that are affecting you. So for the state laws specifically, those will mostly be curated based on what information you have in your company information page, which is something that I'll show you how you can check in just a couple of minutes. In our second module, we'll have the My Favorites section. This is, of course, where you can pull information from the platform and bring it directly to your dashboard page. So this would cover anything relating to toolkits. If you have specific laws or policies that you just want to keep, still and ready in case you ever will need to pull information from that, you can mark those off as a favorite in the platform wherever you see a star icon next to a form. So just to give you an example of what that looks like, I'm going to go over to the HR compliance dropdown and go over to the laws section. And let me click on the ACA and getting started on requirements for employers. Where you see the star icon, you can click on it. And then to go back to your dashboard page, you just need to click the Bender Insurance Solutions logo at the top left-hand side of your screen. And you'll now see that this is saved as a favorite. Below that module is our opportunity for you to reach out to an HR expert. So this would be your tool, your feature to use in case you want to send a question to one of our HR and compliance experts who be able to help you with any sort of questions that you have. So there's two ways to get in contact with them. You can feel free to use the phone number at the very top, or you can use the form submission process, which will just walk you through a series of questions. This is a great tool to use and a great team to get advice and your questions answered from. On average, they have about 18 years of experience. So they really have a ton of experience in terms of being able to help you and assist you with those questions that may be nagging you or, a potential employee that you just need a solution to, rather than having to navigate online, asking ChatGPT or any sort of large learning language model questions on HR and compliance, which is never advised, of course. You can use this team as a human resource to get these questions, these questions answered for you. Below the contact an expert module is the to-do list module. This will be an important feature as you get more and more familiar with the various other tools and services that are being provided to you on behalf of Bender. As you start creating handbooks, as you start developing training tracks for your employees, you really start seeing this area start to fill out. Specifically in the handbook section, this will help keep you informed and up to date in case there are any sort of policy changes that are affecting the handbooks that you've already created. So this will just be a way for you to interact with this. You can click where it says view, and this will take you specifically to that compliance update that is being applied to that handbook of yours. And for our last module is our My Cases area. As you start sending questions to the HR experts or asking questions to our technical support team for any sort of problems that you're encountering within the platform itself, you'll start seeing this case information start to show up in this area. This is a way for you to interact with it and ultimately, to help if there's any sort of follow-up that is necessary. You can use this area as a way to manage these cases going forward. All right, so since the topic of today's conversation is keeping up to date with compliance changes, the very first thing I want to take you to is our HR compliance section. And in the HR compliance section, you'll have not only the compliance dashboard, but also these compliance insights. So if we go over to the dashboard section, this will show you your federal compliance dashboard. I was just checking to see that it is federal. It is. You also have a drop down where you can select the state that you're in. In this case, is California. But just to show you what this information is on this page, you'll be taken to an interactive graph per se. This graph is mostly relating to how many employees you have in your own organization. Of course, as you meet employee threshold, various laws and policies could start applying to your own organization, and there will be some compliance requirements that will be necessary as you start getting more and more employees on your team. So we have developed a dashboard as a way for you to interact with that information and to know the specific laws and policies that will start affecting you as soon as you meet that employee threshold. Same thing for the state level. You'll find those state compliance um, policies and compliance items and policies that you'll want to start taking care of. And if we hover over the HR compliance section once more, we can click on the compliance insights. And the compliance insights are generated initially. There's 3 different criteria in which these compliance insights will show up. You'll have the welcome insights. These welcome insights will show up based on how you were added to the system. So if you started with 60 employees in this case, it will show you all the important items that you need to take care of. If you are approaching any of those compliance milestones that we just saw on the HR compliance dashboard page, you'll start receiving insights relating to the plan ahead. So as you're getting closer and closer to those threshold amounts, you'll start receiving insights from us to help keep you informed for things that you can start preparing for in case you do meet that threshold. And then for our the final type of insight that comes out is the take action. The take action will show up once you have met or surpassed an employee threshold, in which this will be the compliance items and requirements that you will want to start taking care of right now or as soon as possible. Also in this HR compliance section, we'll have the law alerts in the laws section. The laws section will actually show you the full federal and state laws library that we have within the platform. All the information here you see is up to date, and it is checked both internally and externally by a wide variety of experts in these fields. So feel free to go in here to find all the content, all the information that you need to stay on top of the federal and state laws as they are written right now. We also have an HR assessment. Feel free to interact with this as a client admin. This will be a good way for you to judge how much you know, how much you don't know as it relates to HR and compliance. In this specific assessment, not only will it show you the specific problems that or questions that you got wrong, but we will also help to fill in those knowledge gaps with information that you can use in the platform, and of course, that you can use in the services and tools that are provided for you on behalf of Binder. Last but not least, our compliance calendar. If you are looking for specific due dates for most federal deadlines, or if you want to add in your own sort of state deadlines, or if there's a local deadline that needs to be met by you or someone on your team, you can interact with this compliance calendar and find those dates that you already have on your compliance calendar, or you can add events to your compliance calendar. If you have multiple client admins, just note that each of these client admins will basically see a different compliance calendar. So if you just want to manage one compliance calendar for your entire group, I would just have one select client admin go in and make the necessary changes to make sure that all this information is being sent over to the relevant parties on your team. All right, going over to the next tab, we're going to keep with the theme of how you can stay updated with HR and compliance changes. If you click on the company policies, this will take you to your Smart Employee Handbook Builder. And the Smart Employee Handbook tool itself is a fantastic way to efficiently create, an employee handbook. I'm sure many of you may have already, a compliance calendar that you use, to stay on top, to send out to employees in case they need to acknowledge a specific change to a policy. All that is great, but the headache can really come in as you start to apply more and more of these state or federal changes for new policies, that are effectively being passed. These things can change really quickly, as a lot of employers have certainly let me know about. So we have developed a tool that can help you stay, you can effectively help you stay, up to date in compliance with the handbooks that you're sending out to folks on your team. So if there's any sort of policy changes that are coming due, if there's a language change, if they're adding new language, subtracting new language, modifying existing terms. All those updates can be sent to your, Smart Employee Handbook here in the Minora platform, rather than you having to check on like a government website to find out all this information. So just to give you a quick walk down of how you can interact with this tool, let's say you want to go over to company policies, you can click where it says create a handbook and it will ask you to select a type. Um, in this case, for this example that we'll be going through today, we'll be touching on the single state handbook. You do have the option to purchase up to get the Smart Employee Handbook Plus, which is a premium edition. This gives you access not only to a single state, but multiple states that you can add on one handbook. Let's say you are a larger group and you have offices in several locations. You can add all those locations on one existing handbook. You also have the ability to send out these handbooks for e-signature, so you can make sure that new hires and existing employees are acknowledging these handbooks when they are received. And then you also have the ability for Spanish translation. But today, we'll get started on the single states solution. So of course, for this form, for the handbook information page, you just type in information relating to your handbook, perhaps the name of it itself. Here you can select, the one state and the federal policy, so they're all together on one handbook. The name of your company will automatically show up. You can include a company logo if you want to make your handbook look more official once someone is going through and reading the contents within it. Some basic questions at the very top of how you refer to your employees, how you refer to your company. And then there are some text fields for you to fill out for the head of the head of the company title, the primary contact, who will most likely be someone who would receive questions about the handbook. So if there's someone on your team who you think would be best equipped to handle those questions, as it relates to policies that maybe a new hire is going through and has questions about, this would be that contact you can use there. And then the way that you refer to your managers or supervisors. At the very bottom is where you'll be able to select that state, click Add State. It will automatically show you the number of employees that you have at that location, which in this case it is 60. And once you verify that you have all the relevant information, I'm just going to skip this step, but basically you click Save and Review Policies. And this will take you to this page, which will be the table of contents. And on the table of contents, you'll have your core policies at the top. You'll have your state policies at the bottom. And in these policies, you can click on them. Let's say for the state of California, hiring and orientation, you'll see what is populated below our list of sub-policies, which is where the actual policy language and content will reside. Of course, for these policy alerts, these are part of what makes it a smart employee handbook, where you'll be sent that policy information so you can stay on top of these compliance changes. And not only that, but you can take action on them. You can apply them to your handbooks. You can see the policy language in real time. And being able to efficiently manage this is a great is a great ability that this platform unlocks for you. If you want to see the specific policy itself, you can click Preview. If you want to change information on it, you can click Edit. So I'll just click Edit here. And then you can see where that policy language is coming due. If you want to make any changes to this, you can. This is an environment in which you can edit and update. You are free to include any sort of pictures, let's say, of your company. Let's say you want to go to, I'm going to go back just 1 second. Let's say you want to go to the welcome policy and you want to add a picture, maybe, a group photo of folks who work internally with you or any of that, a work site vacation place. anything that you can include to really make this handbook your own, you are able to do that. If you want to update the policy language, you can. And for certain policy or sub-policies, you will see that it will say requires customization. These will be policy fields in which you will want to make sure you put your own unique touch on it. Let's say the about the company section, everyone is going to be different, so we don't necessarily have a template for that. But as you start going through these handbooks, you will start seeing which of those sub-policies do require a level of customization from you as the owner of this handbook and which ones necessarily don't. All of the required policies and best practice policies will be default turned on. If you have any optional policies, those will be turned off, but you are free to click the little toggle just to make sure that these are on for you as well. All right. The other thing that I want to show you that relates to keeping update with compliance changes is going to be the resources section. Of course, the resources area is where you'll find a wealth of knowledge and opportunities to learn a little bit more about various categories that we have in the platform. Everything from benefits to hiring to leaves and time off, termination, wage and hour. If you can think of it, we probably have it here in the system. Not only do we have information that you can read through, but we have a series of videos that you can watch. All of these videos are developed in-house, and they do provide an opportunity for you to learn, perhaps even over a cup of coffee in the morning, that can slow walk you through a various, subset of content relating to HR and compliance. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the ACA, if you want to learn a little bit more about leaves and time off, you can find information here and find the content that you're looking for. If you're looking for something to read through, or just as a checklist, we have those as well. Or if you're just looking for a video, we have access to all that in this section. I also want to show you the HR tools section because for the HR tools, you have something that not a lot of clients have, but through your access with Bender, you have access to the salary comparison tool. The salary comparison tool gives you as a client access to 3 free salary reports that on its surface cost about $750 each. So this is a fantastic way to find information, salary benchmarking, finding salaries relating to geo, job title, all that. You can find all this information in the salary comparison tool, and it's just the value saved. That is why this is such an important feature for you to use and something that I hope you start using going forward. We have recently revamped the salary comparison tool. So the information that you're getting is much more relevant and actionable compared to how it was in the past. And once again, you do have access to 3 free salary reports that are each about $750 worth of value. If you go over those 3 free reports, you do have the ability to get more at a very reduced rate of $225 compared to the $750. But once again, I just want to encourage you to use this tool. I'm super happy that this tool is here because this is often frequently requested, and you can gain a lot of insights as it relates to salary information from that specific tool. We also have a job description builder that will help streamline the process of developing job descriptions. We have templates, I think over 10,000 templates of various roles and policies that you can use to really make sure that these jobs that you're hiring for are accurately described. We also have the benefit document creator tool, the minimum wage map, and some calculators that will be important for some folks who are working in HR. I also want to briefly touch on training since I know we still have a couple more minutes. For the training piece itself, while this doesn't necessarily relate to the topic of keeping up to date with compliance changes, these courses can certainly have content in it that can serve to educate folks on your team about compliance. about professional development, even about harassment. If there is any sort of mandated harassment credit, which I'm sure many of you may know about if you have a business in California, we have courses that can help facilitate those credits to make sure that your employees are trained on it. But not just that, a wide variety of courses that are available, everything from employees to managers and anything in between. If you can think of it, we probably have a course that can address either the whole topic or pieces of that topic. And I just wanted to share this area because I know for a lot of you and for a lot of our clients, this is a great way to generate more and more value and engagement in the platform, which is, of course, paramount. So if you have a group of employees internally who are interested in this type of training opportunity and you are looking for a solution to meet it, this is something that Bender is allowing for you to use. So you can gain access to this, send course information to those employees that you're looking to get trained on a wide variety of subjects and keep them happy. So this is ultimately a great value as well as the other, features and tools and services that we were talking about today. Last, before we leave, I want to show you how you will be able to interact with the system admin type of steps that you'll most likely just want to be a little more comfortable with. In order to access that area, you can go over to your main toolbar and hover over this avatar icon. And under company settings, you can click company, and this will take you to your company information page. On your company information page, you'll have fields relating to your client name, its display name, basically how it looks in the system. And you have a bunch of optional fields as well that you are free to add information to. This will show you your total company size at the top, which will include your primary location size, which is over here at the bottom, and any sort of secondary or tertiary locations that you have that you would like to manage in the system as well. As we scroll down, you will see your company configuration. So you'll see basically what you have access to in the system. If you're looking for more of those premium products, these are some solutions that Bender is offering for certain clients of theirs to use. But if you want to get more, there are additional opportunities that you can find in the platform. If you're looking to expand those premium courses. So let's say you want a course in Microsoft computer skills. We do have a separate premium course package for that in case you are interested in that training solution. And if you're ready to add users to to your environment, all clients have access, all client admins can add employees to the system. So you just need to click on where it says add user. You'll see a first and last name. You can include, the information that is relevant in those fields. You can include information relating to their email address and their username, which can be the same thing as their email address. And then you can select a user role. So the reason why you want to add an employee to the system is that they would then be able to take the courses that you're assigning them. So you just want to make sure that they have access to the system as an employee. They have created a password so they can start to use the courses that you're sending over to them. All right, so I know we covered a lot in today's training. I will be working with Bender in the future as well to provide an additional subset of courses that you can definitely watch. At the end of today's training, I'll send you a survey so I can just have a better idea for the type of courses that you would like to see in the future. So I'll send over that survey. If you want to get more into the weeds on a specific tool, we can. Just feel free to let me know. But it's been an honor speaking with you all today. Feel free, please be sure to sign in and start using the service that Bender is providing for you to use. It's a great solution for you, and there are opportunities for anyone, depending, of course, on the level of access that you have ultimately. But with that in mind, I'll close out today's meeting, and I'll be sure to send over a recording to all of you. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day.